Hello everyone, welcome to A1 TV. I am your host Sanazia. Today I'm really excited because our today's discussion is about sports, and I'm really honored and privileged that I have two wonderful guests sitting next to me. First is Michael Agallis. He is head coach of Pakistani Shaheen female footy team, and then he's also assistant coach of Pakistani Shaheen men team and founder of Footies for All. Next to Michael is, one and only, whoever knows Shaheen Supporting Club, they know Aris. He's Director of Operations. And we are really privileged because for the first time, as Aris mentioned, that he is on a Pakistani channel. So thanks Aris, thanks for that. Thank you Michael.
Thank you.
So before, we go further, I would like, if you can introduce our viewers a little bit, about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Michael Gallis. Firstly, a privilege to be here, and it's certainly a privilege to be the national women's coach. In 2017, the AFL had an international cup, and Pakistan supplied 25 women from Pakistan to Australia to play in the tournament. And I was extremely impressed with their courage, their tenacity, and their passion. They were a lot smaller than a lot of the other teams they played against, like USA and Canada and Germany and Ireland. But they every time they got knocked down, they got back up and they continued. And that passion and that commitment and that determination really inspired me when I spoke with them and coached with them to journey one day to their country, and they invited me to come to Pakistan, which we're about to do in a couple of weeks, to further the game, to catch up with all of them, to develop their skills, and to give more kids and more people in Pakistan the opportunity to play AFL football.
Wow.
Aussie rules. Aussie. Yes, it is. The greatest game in the world, Aussie rules. And we're so excited, thanks to Shaheen's and AFL Pakistan, to get an opportunity to travel to Karachi and also to Multan and also to Islamabad. And Lahore.
How can you miss Lahore?
That's got the greatest food in Pakistan, I hear.
Michael has done his homework.
I can see that.
Shaba. So really looking forward to this opportunity to learn a great deal about Pakistan culture, but also to strengthen ties between Australia and Pakistan as well.
Yeah, and I think sports can give a very good message. That is it's really good for building a positive relation. So we are really thankful that you take that initiative, and on top of it, of course, how can we forget Shaheen? So Aris, how you feel? How excited you are for this trip?
Very excited, but before I begin, thank you Sana and A1 Media for hosting us and for inviting us for this interview. We were really excited when we heard that, hey, Sana wants to interview us.
And we are also excited that you are here.
So if you look at our journey of Shaheen Sporting and Social Club, we've always been trying to actually promote social cohesion through the medium of sports. And there's no best sports in Australia than footy itself. What we have been trying to do is take this message of social cohesion back in Pakistan, and for the last few years we've been working with AFL Pakistan. Year and a half back, we've seen one of our coach went to Pakistan, did some sessions over there. Then for the last year or two, me and Kashif Bronze, who's the founder of Shaheen's, we went to Pakistan, we ran a few sessions, and this time AFL Pakistan invited us that please, if we can have Michael Gallis and if he can come over. So we worked on it. I'm like, okay, so what we will be doing is taking Michael to Pakistan, showing him the beauty of Pakistan, and then taking the game, which we all love the most, to Pakistan. So it's very exciting. It's gonna be very thrilling.
It is.
It's gonna be like an adventurous 1.5 week in Pakistan. And as Michael had mentioned, we'll be traveling from Karachi, Multan, Lahore, and then from Lahore to Gujranwala, then Islamabad, and we're hoping that we'll go to Hunza depending on the weather as well. And then back to Islamabad, Azad Kashmir if we get the time, and then back to Melbourne. So it's a very packed schedule. It'll be footy all across Pakistan.
And all that.
Looking forward to it.
So you'll see footy happening in every corner of Pakistan.
And that's really great. And on top of it, before I ask you other questions about all these areas and all that, I just want to know, because maybe most viewers, they don't know what is AFL stand for. So Michael, what is this AFL?
Yeah, Australian Rules Football League. So it's the Aussie rules game. So it's a combination of soccer. Soccer is booty ball. Football is big in Pakistan, the world game they call it. So it's a combination of football, rugby, hockey, basketball, and European handballs. You put all those sports together, you get AFL, and that's why everyone loves playing it. 'Cause crazy, you got to be crazy to play it, and it's a great sport. It's got the aerial. You got to have skill aerial. You got to have fitness. You've got to have strategy, and you've got to be tough. And that's why what really inspired me was the toughness of the Pakistan women's team. They were the toughest girls that I've ever seen.
Oh,
and I've coached AFL in Melbourne.
That is a big compliment, I think, for all the girls who are watching us and back home in Pakistan. Because in order to be in that team, I think it required great courage.
Correct.
Yeah, because there are few stereotypes about Pakistan, and I think this is going to break that stereotype.
Yeah, because they had the courage not just to leave their country, but to come and play a different game, the toughest game in the world. And they were the toughest opponents. Every time we played someone, at the end of the game, they'd come up and congratulate the Pakistan women's team for their courage and their determination and their passion for their country. That's what really shone out and inspired me to one day come across and to inspire more women and more girls and more females in Pakistan to play AFL, but also to play sport. And sport is so important. Nelson Mandela, who's a hero of mine, he said that sport speaks to youth in a language that they understand. More powerful than race, more powerful than religion, more powerful than governments in providing hope and opportunities in life. And he proved that with the 1995 World Cup unification after apartheid in South Africa. And we're proving the same thing in combination with the Shaheens here in Melbourne, and also when we get across to Pakistan, that we use sport as a vehicle for hope. We use sport as a vehicle for peace and for communication and for both countries, or all countries, to exist together. And it's so exciting to have that opportunity now to do that in Pakistan.
I think it's really very exciting and very beautiful words you use, like, that why sports are really important. So for Aris, the question is, we all know that, how difficult for you it is to conduct these kind of, workshops, lectures and all that in Pakistan for women typically, for different areas and all that. So how difficult it is for Shaheens?
Well, to be very honest, it's not just one person who does all the work. It's not just me, it's the whole organization. There are many people who work at the back end, who put forward their effort to make everything happen. We've been working in Pakistan for the last couple of weeks. Me, myself, and then Kashif have been going to Pakistan, talking to different universities, giving lectures, promoting scouts, talking about social cohesion. Similarly, we when Wasim was there, he was running footy sessions in Pakistan as well. So what we are trying to do is taking it to a next level. Instead of just going to one city at a time or two cities at a time, we're going countrywide. And thanks to AFL Pakistan for taking this initiative. They've not only just invited us, in fact, thanks to them that they are sponsoring the whole trip of Michael, including the airfare, his accommodation, traveling and everything. And of course, once you're in Pakistan, you know that how the hospitality is like, and that's what I was telling Michael, that this will be one thing you remember. So it looks pretty exciting, but the effort which has been put at the back end, thanks to AFL Pakistan in Pakistan, and then here my team from Shaheen's. So getting the dots connected, and I think back in 2017 when Michael was like, let's plan a trip, I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. Give it a bit of time. And here, 2 years down the lane, we're like, finally it's happening.
It's good. But you've had amazing support from people in Pakistan that want to hear about my story and the Pakistan Shaheens and the national team, especially the women's team. The support you've had has just been huge, hasn't it?
That is true. All the universities we've been talking about, and when I told them that I'm bringing an Australian coach and he's coached the girls, he's been part of the boys team as well, so they want to know the story. And another thing which Michael has not mentioned, and I think I should mention it, in Uganda there's a tournament by the name of Michael Gallas. There's a whole tournament by the name of Michael Gallas.
You didn't mention this. This is the highlight of the story.
So So he's actually giving hope to many people, not just in Australia, but across his footies
across the globe.
Across the globe.
Yeah.
And that is actually the message we are taking back to Pakistan through Shaheen's, that it's not difficult. All you need is just the will. Michael worked as a volunteer. We all work as a volunteer for Shaheen's. We put in our effort, and all this effort is actually for the cause, and that is to promote cohesion, that is to promote love and peace, and the best way to do is what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
So in our trip, as I said, that we'll be talking to different universities, we'll be liaising with few people, which are...
You mentioned, I think it's Muniba Mazari as well. So what is her role there?
Yeah, Michael, you want to go
Yeah,
ahead? Experience for Muniba.
Yeah, very lucky to meet her when she came out last time. Again, thanks to Aras and Kashish and the Pakistan Shaheens. And had a quick chat with her, and I gave her a footy, and she said to us, she said to me and Aras, she said, well, I don't really know what this is, but I know you do, so you've got to come to Pakistan and teach my son how to play.
Wow.
And I said to her, I'd love to, and one day we'll get there, and we've already spoken to her. And she's looking forward to catching up with us when we're in Islamabad. And we're going to support her community program of feeding the street kids that she does every week. And that's another big part of our trip. And Aris has also organised to visit the Smile Foundation. That we'd like to support community groups on the ground that are making great progress and are inspirational people of Pakistan making positive change, and that's part of this as well, to go and support those great people in Pakistan too. And that's an amazing foundation that Aris has organised for us to go and see as well.
So apart from Muniba, like Muniba runs lots of work in Pakistan, so we're working with her. Grateful to her that when we messaged her that we are coming to Pakistan, and she was like, looking forward. She came up with the idea, let's do something for the street kids. So we're looking forward that once we're in Islamabad, we'll do a bit of work for the street kids.
We're going to play soccer, so we're going to play soccer with them, and obviously teach them some AFL too, which will be
similarly,
it'll be great fun.
Similarly, we are going to Lahore, and
lucky.
So we will be, inshallah, be meeting Musarrat Apa the Smile Again Foundation. And as Michael mentioned, it's not just about sports; it's about giving back to the community. And I think the work with Musarrat Apa is doing back in Pakistan through the Smile Again Foundation for acid burn victim. It's a great work. So it's
a great cause actually.
It's a great cause. So,
and she's the one who take the initiative, and because of her, it's a social awareness. Now you can see that people are talking about this issue. Otherwise, sometimes they don't want to talk about that this is an issue.
So we want to go there, show our support to Musarrat Apa. Similarly, we're going to different schools in Karachi and Islamabad.
Universities and
universities are separate, but the schools I'm talking about are the schools which are for underprivileged kids. It's again it's an honor for us that we have someone from here going all the way to Pakistan. Most of the people who can afford to go to good universities and listen to people who have their story to share, we want to give it to the grassroots level kids who can't afford that. So we want them to hear the story. We want to give them the courage that, look, you're on the right path. All you need is just believe in your own self and take yourself further from there. So it was gonna be an action-packed trip. It's gonna be an
Can't wait.
Of course. And what about I heard that you are going to organize few clinics, workshops, and then of course your lectures and all that. So what this clinic and workshop?
The clinics and workshops are basically, so we have two dimensions to it. One is of course footy. So we're gonna run footy clinics and workshops. So we just don't want to go there and show them how to play. We want to train them, so that once we are not there are other people who can take from there. So AFL Pakistan has a good coaching staff, so we will be coaching their coaches that how to coach, so that once we are back from Pakistan, so those coaches can actually continue from there. Similarly, we'll be running few sessions, basics about what AFL is all about, how to play the game. So we'll be running footy clinics. That will be for boys and girls, for all the ages. AFL Pakistan is already working on it. They have close to 400 players who have registered and they're still playing in Pakistan. Similarly, we are going to different universities. As I mentioned earlier, Shaheens have been going to different universities and institute, doing academia, like giving talks about leadership, communication. Medicine is my field, so I talk about public health. So this time
you said it's your field, so can you highlight
doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Is it?
Doctor.
I never heard about that side.
He's a
Yeah, we
doctor.
know Aris that he is director of operations, but now he said it's my field, so you should highlight and I think most of the viewers, they want to know what is your field.
So my field is every field. So I call myself
You call yourself?
The doctor of everything.
a doctor of everything.
You
So
call yourself or you are a doctor?
Well, I am a public health professional,
Okay.
a researcher, medical researcher by profession.
Okay.
But what we do back in Pakistan is that giving back to the community, or the knowledge we have, the experience which I have, especially in the field of medicine and research, I go back and talk about it at different universities. We talk about leadership, we talk about sports development and leadership, health and leadership. And this is what we'll be doing at different universities in Pakistan. We're already in contact thanks to great Sana. Universities in Islamabad and universities like Al Khan University Hospital in Karachi. Similarly, Ziauddin University, Iqra University, Indus University. We already have a memorandum of understanding with them that we're helping kids over there through internship.
And they're all very good universities. Yeah.
Still in the pipeline. Hopefully, we will be going to Namal as well. So we're just trying to actually give back Zebis as well, thanks to Sana.
It is they are all good universities, and of course, if you go there and you talk about all these issues, I think that's really good. These topics actually.
Yeah. So we will be covering that aspect as well, and of course, people are really keen to listen to Michael, his journey, his story. He's only talking really little about it, but he has a lot to share and there's a lot to learn from him.
And of course, our kids will learn a lot from you, Michael. Your stories, plus the way you teach them footy, it's a new game.
Yeah.
So, even we just heard about it and we are really excited.
Yeah.
So, look at the excitement level of those who really enjoy all that moments with you.
That's going to be great. It's going to be great. And hopefully, too, we've put in a request to meet with the president, Imran Khan.
Wow.
And
that's great. Yeah.
Which really, I think, if he can be aware of what we're doing, he'd love to talk to us with his sport background. He understands the power of sport and understands.
Of course, his background is from sports.
And what a great country Australia is. And he spent a lot of time here, I know, playing cricket, and really enjoyed his time in Australia. So, Imran, if you're watching, we'd like to have a chat. So look us up when we're in Islamabad. Okay, so we'll be the only crazy Aussie with an Aussie rule board. I reckon he might hear of us. You reckon he might hear of us? Aussie. That's right.
So
Shaba, Imran. Shaba.
He definitely.
So we just requested our Prime Minister that if he is watching all that, so of course it is we are requesting that you should got this wonderful man and just talk with all about the sports. The highlight of the story is to build a positive relation between Pakistan and Australia.
Yeah, correct. And to do it through AFL football and peace and
Shaheen
love.
is giving the is being the part of the bridge to cover the gap between the two countries and all that.
That's
the link.
That's what we actually have been trying and been working on, and we've been privileged that last couple of months back, in fact, we had the privilege to meet with the newly appointed High Commissioner for Pakistan from Australia, and we talked about that the work we have been doing, and he was like, whenever you're in Pakistan, do let us know. And again, thanks to him that we sent him a message that we are coming to Islamabad, and he was like, we're looking forward to meet. So the thing which we also trying to work is working on the sports diplomacy between both the country. Pakistan is a very beautiful country. It's not just about the food, not just about the people, it's about tourism as well. So we want to explore.
Once you explore everything, because you are going all over the country, I hope so you will love it.
I will.
So the journey will hopefully not be just from here, from Melbourne to Pakistan. There will be a lot more which will be happening once Michael will be back from Pakistan. He'll be. He's already been given a title of Ozistan.
How can I forget that? You already got that title. Lucky now, Ozistan. Ozistani. I really like it even.
So our new Ozistani will be talking about Pakistan once he'll be back, and we are still working on it. So hopefully you'll be hearing a lot more through A1 TV about Michael's trip to Pakistan, and we're talking about his experience and all.
Soon, the moment when you are back, then of course we will ask. And then again, it is like before we just wrap up the show, I just want to ask, because you are like you mentioned or you highlighted that you are going to take Michael, and because of course he is the head coach for women, and he is going to train women in North Pakistan, Azad Kashmir, plus you mentioned I think you are going to
it's all across Pakistan, that include northern Pakistan. So a great story which Michael can add as well, that one of the girls who came in 2017, her name is Saliha. She got inspired with the game, never played the game before. She went back and all on her own, she's running a camp, a club where she's teaching footy in Hunza.
Hunza. And someone from Australia is going to Hunza to train female. I
so
think.
We are inshallah planning if the weather permits. If the weather permits, because it's close to snow time over there, plus landsliding. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. If we get the opportunity, we're definitely going to Hunza. Again, north of Pakistan. Which Michael will see, hopefully will see, but it's not just.
And you will love it. The scenery.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's scenic. It's nice, and but you never want to come back from.
If you are going by road, then oh my god, full of excitement and adventure as well.
So the story of Saliha is really inspiring, and Michael will add on to that. It's a good story for girls who want to be.
I think she's a great inspiration for others.
AFL did a story on her. It was on Channel 7. It was all across media over here. And kudos to her that she's doing a good job. Again, that's an inspiration for us actually, that this is the people, these are the people we want to go back and encourage more. We're going to support them more. You want to add more to them?
Yeah, that's right. And Sally was our ruckman. And the ruck girls she came up against were a foot, 2 foot higher than her. And so she was getting knocked down every time, but every time she would get back up, every time she'd come into the huddle and she would steel herself to go again. And then when I spoke to all the girls at the end, I encouraged them to go back to Pakistan and to run clinics. So they had an amazing opportunity to come to Australia and Melbourne and play sport. And now we wanted to spread that back home. And Abia, what's her last name?
Abia Haida.
Yeah, Abia Haida, the national soccer team player. She went back and was running camps. Karishma Ali, running Camp Chitterall.
In Chitterall. And she's part of the youth parliament as
well. So they've gone back and they've spread the ripple effect through sport back in Pakistan as well. So we want to catch up with them and support them and encourage them, and also encourage, as Ara said, encourage other girls that yes, the road is hard and it is, you have obstacles, but if you never give up and you are passionate and you are committed, that you can change lives and make a difference. And we're inspiring everyone in Pakistan to do that, and you can do that through the vehicle of sport. It's so easy to do.
And just to add on one more thing, and I think Michael, I have not mentioned this before, and you'll be surprised, though Hunza is a very remote area.
That's why I keep on asking North Pakistan.
It's like one of the most difficult area to reach.
Particularly women or girls.
And yet they have over 90%, if I'm not somewhere close to 95% literacy rate in that area. So imagine the people who are there. Yes, they're remote, but they're literate, they're educated, and they're progressive, which is really good.
And now, this is really very encouraging that they are promoting the girls as well. To learn sports and all those other activities as well. But before this, we never heard about it. So it's really, I think, hats off to Shaheen. And of course, bundle of thanks to you, Michael, that you are taking this initiative and going all the way from Australia to Pakistan.
No, very lucky, and it's just a great team effort. If everyone works together, and we can use the vehicle of sport to give opportunity, to give hope, and to obviously promote peace and love. I mean, there's only one human race, and we all need to work together. And if we can enhance that communication and those connections through sport, then as Nelson Mandela said, sport speaks to youth in a language that they understand. And he was right. And we've proved that here in Australia through my foundation, Footies for All, when working with disadvantaged kids. We do a lot of work in Aboriginal communities, and the joy on their faces and the smiles on their faces, which will be exactly the same in Pakistan. I've also done a lot of work in Fiji with youth in sport, and they can't understand the language, but they understand the language of sport, and that's so powerful and so exciting that we're going to have this opportunity now in your great country. And Shaba Shaba, I can't wait to get there. Cannot wait to get there.
I really love this Shaba Shaba. And I can see that, like, you know, you are wearing Pakistan t-shirt, and then, you know, your excitement, your face is glowing. So this itself is conveying a very positive message.
Just to add on one thing, when Michael was coaching, most of the girls who were there, a few of them had difficulty in understanding the Australian accent. So the communication was through the medium of sports throughout. And when we had the last game, the girls actually circled Michael and they started singing the song to cheer him up and to say thanks to him. And they were singing the little Pakistan, and then Michael is the best coach.
You understand anything or no?
Yeah, deal, Pakistan, Pakistan, a little.
Wow.
I'm going to learn a great deal more, and it really is an honour to be the coach of the national women's team and assistant coach of the men's team too, because being from another country, to have that honour to represent another country and be an Aussie Starny, it is a great privilege, and you know, I hold that responsibility dear to my heart, and that's another reason that I am going to Pakistan, that is my role, to further develop and encourage others to come to Australia, play AFL, but also just to play sport and use that vehicle to follow their dreams, whatever they are, and to be a good person and to promote peace and love throughout the world.
Yeah, and I think that's really a very great message. And again, on behalf of all the Pakistanis, I just wish you best of luck, and I can assure you that you will love this trip and you will remember it throughout your life.
Shaba Shaba, Magic Karoo.
So before we wrap up, like if you want to add on anything, you can, or otherwise any message for all the viewers.
Yeah, just a big thank you to the Pakistan Shaheens. AFL Pakistan and Pakistan have done a lot of work and very generous in their sponsorship, and yourselves for coming out to hear the story, and to also all the universities and schools and the people of Pakistan. You know, I can't wait to get there to meet you, and I thank you for all your support in, you know, giving me the honour to come and visit your country and then bring it back to Australia and tell Australians what a great country it is.
That is true. That is true. And just to add on what Michael have mentioned, sports is a medium which has no language. I encourage, especially the Pakistani community here in Melbourne and Australia, to please come forward, engage yourself in any sports, footy to say the least. Be part of it, be part of the community. It keeps you going, it integrates you with the local community, integrates you with your environment. So I encourage everyone, especially the young kids who are listening, who are watching, please come forward, join in these sports, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah, inshallah, I think so. Like, you know, everyone will love it. And before we leave, can we say Pakistan?
Zindabad!